Hello everyone, mabuhay! I am Kathy Ginumali Cabero and today I will be discussing about literature under the Republic and Philippine literature. So for our learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, the pre-service teachers would be able to first identify the main themes and messages of the two poems. Secondly, analyze how the poets express social issues and personal emotions through their works. And of course, lastly, appreciate the value of Philippine literature in reflecting both societal and realities of human experiences. So, the first poem that we will be discussing is entitled Another Invitation to the Pope to Visit Tondo. So, it is written by Emmanuel Torres. So, this piece, it is a powerful piece that reveals ang matuod nga truth about poverty and inequality in the Philippines. So it exposes here the hypocrisy of society and religion, where people preach about love, kindness, and faith, yet do little help to those who truly needs it. So this poem, so it is a plea for awareness and compassion that of course reflects the religion that should not only be about prayers or ceremonies but about the real concern of human life. Because here, the people in Tondo, so they just do not need pity. They just do not need words that, that could make you feel that, empathy ka sa ila. But what do they need the most is the justice, attention, and love. So this poem is both mirror and a challenge that reflects our society's reality and a challenge for us to act, care, and live our faith through kindness. So before we delve to our poem, so let's get to know first the author of the poem. So Emmanuel Torres. So Emmanuel Torres, so as you can see here in the screen, so he was a Filipino poet, literary critic, and a professor. So he grew up in Manila and became one of the first important poets after World War II who wrote English. So for his awarding, so he won awards in the Palanca Awards and became a National Fellow for Poetry. And his works often talk about poverty, politics, social struggles, and human experiences. So, but then, sadly, he passed away in 2019, leaving behind a strong legacy in the Philippine literature. So, this is when the Papal visits the Philippines. Yes, amo na siya. When he visited the Tondo, Manila. Okay, so for our poem, we have here for our first sentences. So next time your holiness slums through our lives, we will try to make our poverty exemplary. The best is a typhoon month. It never fails to find us, like charity knocking on all sides of the rough arrangements we thrive in. Mud shall be plenty for the feet of the pious. So the opening stanza, so it shows irony and sarcasm. Because the speaker politely invites the Pope to slum through their lives. But that phrase reveals nga the bitterness of being treated like an exhibit of poverty whenever somebody or a higher official visited here in the Philippines. So, bitterness siya. Sarcastic, ganon. Kaya nga man, sino man nabi may gusto, right? Nya, poor ka na gani. Tapos, tamo na, daw gina-exhibit pa kung gaano ka ka-poor, right? So, it is as if the poor must take or must make their suffering look exemplary just to get noticed. So this is the poet's way, to criticize how society romanticizes poverty instead of solving it. Amo na bala, even here sa aton, di ba, we also experience that whenever nga somebody nga higher official visited the here abbey sa copies, so what our government officials trying to do is, amo na gani nga, basta hindi nila dapat makita how poor we are. So yes, they are trying to make our suffering look exemplar, exemplary, just for them to get notice nga amo na nga okay, amo di galing ba kanami gali isang but then the reality is not like that. Okay, so the best is a typhoon moth and never fails to find us, like Charity knocking on all sides of the rough arrangements we thrive in. So this stanza paints some vivid picture of life in Tondo, Manila. So flooded, muddy and full of struggles. So the comparison of typhoon to Charity is ironic because both come often, but neither truly helps the poor. The line nga ang mud shall be plenty for the feet of the pious, so it really suggests that even in the holy or the powerful cannot avoid seeing the misery if they truly come to visit. So it is a criticism of empty charity that fails to end suffering. So we will show you how we pull things together. From nowhere, life after life, prosper with children whom you love. To be sure, we shall have more for you to love. So, this stanza is showing resilience. So this stanza shows how faith and survival go hand in hand. But of course, it also show how people are left to fend for themselves. So we will show you where the sun leaks on our sleep, on the dailiness of piecemeals and wages, with their habit of slipping away from fists that have holes for pockets. So it describes here how even sunlight leaks through the fragile homes, just like morning, very easily to slip away. So it reflects hopelessness and endless poverty, where people work hard but never earn enough to survive. The poet uses simple yet powerful images to show how poverty drains people energy and dignity. Kasi in reality of life, kung sino pa, amo na gani nga, may panawag na sila, if you are poor, you will be poorer. Pero kung manggadanon ka, mas magamanggadanon ka, di ba? So that's really the reality of life, and it is only depends on us. Kaya syempre, it really depends kung sino aton botohon every election. Kasi, amo na gani we really must assure nga ang mga ginaboto natin ng opisyales have, care for our welfare. Kaya kung wala gani, amo na ang matabo. So, pidabayan lang kita dita. Nga, kung sino pa ang poor, muna pagid ang magiging poorer, just like for our farmers. Kita mo, silang gapangabudlay, sila ang gapangita sang kwarta kung paano ina matanong. But then, at the end of the day, sino ang gasuffer? Sila Japon, kaya ang mga wages nga ginabayad sila is kulang pa. Right? Pero lantawa, ang mga nagabaligya sang mga bugas nga gimbakal nila ano, mas dako ang ilang nga kita. So, yeah, that's really the sad reality of life. So we will show you our latest child with a sore that never sleeps. The dogs that bark and evening darkens early on the mats. And so it symbolizes here the constant pain and suffering that never ends. So it emphasizes some harsh and hopeless environment in Tondo. So the poet wants to see the Pope to see not just the people but the real human suffering behind their faces. Stay for supper of Sir Turnips on our table since 1946 swollen with the same hard tears. The huntings over our one and only window shall welcome a short breeze. So the speaker here um speaks the scarcity and endurance. So it reminds us here that poverty has existed since post-war times and even continues today. So it really suggests here that there's just really a small hope, but also vulnerability. So it is showing the timeless cycle of struggle in the lives of the poor. So that's why if you have the opportunity to study, you must study. Kasi that's the only way for you to be able to change the cycle of your life by having an education. Because if you are educated, then no one can fool you. Right? So, amo nang importante. That's why nga, as much as possible, if may pa eskwela, gid. And lead prayers for the family that starves and stays together. If we wear rosaries around our necks, it is not because they never bruise our fingers. So the people, ano ko no, keeps on praying and staying together even in hunger. So on the rosaries that was mentioned there, so of course symbolize ina how devoted we are to our God, to our religion, ganon, but also their pain. So it means nga their faith, or the faith of the people there in Tondo was hurt because it does not feed them. Amo na. So, ang pagiging devoted nila kuno ano, hindi sila mapakaon. So, it shows the strength of belief and despite suffering, but also how religion sometimes feels empty to the poor. But remember to reward us with something more lush, greener than all the lawns of memorial parks, singing together. Our eyes shall bless the liveliness of dollars. So, ang mga ang mga poor is not only asking riches, it's not only asking money, but something greener, which are justice, hope, and equality. Nga, even if you have no education, dapat there should be an equality wherein nga ang tanan makatrabaho, ganon. But then, nowadays daan, like, it's not the reality na gadya nga hindi na namatabo. Kaya syempre, bago ka lang ganit graduate, pero ano nga mga qualification, you should have one year nga experience. And how ironic is that? How sarcastic is that? Bago ka lang graduate, pero napangayo ang sa 1 year experience? Is that even good? So no. So it suggests how the rich live comfortably even in death. Saka, di ba, ang mga riches, hindi mo na yung makita kung sa diin lang ang mga cemetery, but only you can see them in memorial parks. Na. But while kuno ang mga poor, they are struggling. Even yan kuno nga magbakal sang lote, kung mapatay sila, they could not even do that because they do not have money. Because we are just poor. Muna. So, do not ang ginapahiwatig there is poet ay nga nga dapat those higher officials do not need to pity us, but instead change something. Para may equality, if kaya sang poor, kaya man sang mga rich. Shed no tears. Please, for the brown of multitudes, who thicken on chance and feast on the leftovers, as the burning garbage smuts the sky of Manila, pile after pile after pile. So the poem, it ends with a wake-up call for the church and the society to act before it's too late. Muna, we must act before it's too late. So, okay, so in my own understanding, another invitation to the Pope to visit Tondo. So, hindi lang about inviting a religious leader, but it is all about exposing the truth of poverty and calling for genuine compassion and social change. So, si Emmanuel Torres, he uses different kinds of irony, imagery, and emotion to show how the poor are both faithful and forgotten. So for me, in my own opinion and my own understanding, the poem teaches the real holiness is not in ceremonies, but in helping the suffering. So it opened my eyes to the value of empathy, and the need to make faith meaningful through actions. Alright. So based from what I have discussed, what knowledge did you gain? Alright, thank you so much. So for our conclusion, through biting irony, stark imagery, and historical allusion, so Emmanuel Torres transforms an invitation into a political and moral indictment. Another invitation to the Pope to visit on the forces both a church and society to confront uncomfortable truths. That poverty in places like Tondo is deep-rooted, resistant to ceremonial compassion, and in urgent need of real solution. And now we have here the Valediction sa Hillcrest by Rolando S. Tinio. So let's get to know who is Rolando Santos Tinio. So he was a Filipino poet, playwright, director, actor, and national artist who mastered both English and Filipino literature and theater, making everyday Filipino life and world classic come alive through his words and stage works. So, ang Valediction sa Hillcrest by Rolando. So, it is a poem about a person, having a dilemma to decide between two places, wherein in Tondo and at the same time in New York. So, and how it affects his whole being. So the poem is rather, complex because it uses two languages, which is the Filipino and English. and it creates a really unique form of writing in which, as we further discuss this poem, learn how he utilizes these languages in relation to the persona's situation of life. I know some of us here, we could really relate to this kasi di ba go boarding house kita, so others came from far places but then nag-decide yung mag-study sa malayo nga lugar. So I know for sure we could really relate to this. Okay, so for our first persona, so pagka-collect ng Railway Express sa aking things, so na iyon sa barko while I'll take the plane. So inakyat kong muli ang N311 at dahil dead of winter, nakatapcoat at galoshes akong nag-right turn sa N-wing ng mahabang dilim. Tunnel yatang aabot hanggang tundo, kinapa ko ang switch sa hull sa isang pitik ni shrink ang imaginary tunnel. Nagparang at taol. So the poem starts out as the persona is about to leave his apartment, which is situated in New York. So the Railway Express, ang N311, so are the object used to indicate no that he travels and longs to go back to his hometown of Tondo. So the winter weather is the metaphor of hardship of traveling from place to place. Or katabtom. So strangely, absolute ang impression ng hiliran ng mga pintong nagproposisyon. Individual identification parang mommy cases. The nameplate, the numero, at the hometown address. Antiseptic ang atmosphere, streamlined, yet kung hindi katabomb, at least a filing cabinet. So in the second stanza here, it further describes his apartment in Tondo, which is a place full of memories, since the metaphor used here were catacomb at the same time the mummy cases. So ining mga object nga ini are well preserved over time, which is an illusion to his unforgettable experiences, and as well as of course ang memories nga which is preserved and confined forever in his hometown in Tondo. So the filing cabinet represents a properly organized place of storage where memories are easy to be found or remembered. Oh. Filing, hindi naman that's remembrances. Oo, yung medyo malapot dahil alam mo na, I'm quitting the place. After 2.5 years, di man nagka-tiyempong mag-ugat, ika nga, syempre naging attached, parang morning glory, mahirap mapaknit sa alambreng trellis. So it describes here the remembrances to his home place. So it suggested here that he will eventually leave the place in the lines, di man nakatiyempong mag-ugat, and mahirap mapaknit ang sa alambreng trellis. So in the fear of getting attached to the place. Ay pagbukas ko sa kwarto, hubot-hubad na ang mattresses. Wala nang kutson sa easy chair. Mga drawer ng boryo, nakanganga, sabay-sabay nag-o-oration, nagkahiyaan, nabara. So, dili, the persona ko finally nakapuli na sa Tondo sa iya gidya nga home place, sa iya hometown, in hope to relieve his nausea and come back to his loved ones. So but then as he opened the door, the place was mass. The place was empty. Of course, tuloy ang radiators sa New York na si Bob and the two Allens and yung mga quarterbacks across the whole Piadong, Panay, and displays in Des Moines. Dawn and Constance aren't coming back at all. Gusto ko na magpaalam to whom? The drapes, the washbowl, the double decker rather, na pinaikot naming ni Candace want me to create space hopeless, talagang impossible. Of course, tuloy ang radiator sa paglagutok and the stone silence, nakakaiyak kong sumagot. Muna siya. So in Vistanza, so he remembers the place, no? Nadumduman niya ang, the memories that he had when he was a child there. Memories nila sa place at the same time sa iyang mga loved ones. But then, it depicts here that homes aren't much as home where there's no one there to come back to. That home is temporary kuno and would only serve as a place of memory. So, di ba may line niya, of course, tuloy ang radiator sa panggadalgal, and of course, tuloy ang radiator sa panglagutak. So, it is a form of speech, no, that indicates that persona desire to fly back to New York. So, it is an airplane sound. Bueno, let's get over it with. It's a long walk to the depot. Tama na ang sophistication. Sa steep incline pababa sa highway where all things level, sabi nga, there's a flowery and gentle pag-whoosh-whoosh ng paa ko, the snow melts right under. Nagtutubig pa ng asukal, humuhulas, nagsisimental. So in the last stanzas, no, it's showing there that leaving his home does not matter. Ano ko, no? It implies that no matter where you settle, all things are level or your character still remains on you. Amo na gani nga, whenever you try to leave, if you have that sentimental value to others, bisan diin ka, it still remains on you. So in short nga, a home kuno does not define who you are or what you will be. Correct na. Because ang home, this is where you can get the discipline that you need for yourself. But it doesn't mean it's who you are. I mean, yes, we're trying to discipline us, so it really does define. Pero while as you grow older, what matters is where you are comfortable. Amo na ba lang even sa malayo ka pang lugar, but then if you are happy in there, if you are comfortable in there, if you have the good life in there, then amo na siya. So, a home does not define who you are or what you will be. It is a merely place, lugar lang ginasa, ilistaran lang ginasa, to live at, and a place where one nurtures his or herself through experiences acquired in that place. When leaving a home, one will surely leave memories and confine it there, but one's character would always remain intact inside one's soul. Again, bisan diin ka pa doon, if you have that goodness in your heart, then it will still remain on you. Amo na. A home does not define you. Ginurture ka na kay of course, your parents are there, but it does not define who you are. Because whether where you are, if you have the goodness inside you, then it will remain on you. Siya. So in conclusion, Valediction sa Hillcrest captures the deep loneliness and longing for a Filipino far from home, showing how distance creates both pain and reflection. So through this poem, it expresses not only his personal feelings of displacement, but also the universal struggle of every migrant who leaves behind their country and loved ones. So it reminds us that even in foreign places, the Filipino heart always yearns for home. Thank you.